Man, I don't know why they got me counting up these MVP ballots, man. I don't know why they got me counting. Counting up these.
Let me get that.
Ballots, dude.
You don't know why?
I don't know why.
Let me get this lighter, bro. Let me tell you something, man. I told you this.
What you tell me?
You can't talk about Dak Prescott for MVP. I said, hold up. He's going to show you who he truly is. We know him to be.
But I believe.
Before you talk about you believe in all that, let me get this. Let me get to work. Because we done with this. This is the last time we're going to talk about Dak Prescott as an MVP.
But I believe.
Let it burn, baby. Let it burn. Whoa.
You
get a vote this year, right?
I do, but
give me that vote. And the vote better not be in
But I believe.
Light it up, baby. I'm tired of this. Don't believe.
But I just like this. He was winning.
You ain't Martin.
He was winning on all these.
It's not Martin Luther King.
He was winning on all these
You're
ballots.
not Dr. King, dog. Let it burn,
But he
baby.
was winning on all
these. Give me some more of that.
He was winning.
Give me all these.
He was winning on
all these. You better not vote for Dak for MVP.
But I thought there was so much season left to play.
I know. See, you forgot about the first 6 weeks. Forgot about them. That's 6 touchdowns and the 4 picks. You forgot about that. So you came with the Buffalo, and you seen against the other great quarterback what it looks like. Get blown out. And don't forget, in the fourth quarter,
what happened?
Your MVP had 64 yards passing. Like this thing. Don't ever do this again. No. This is the last time we're going to put this to bed. We're going to burn all them thoughts you got of him being MVP.
But James
talks a lot.
But James Jones
yeah, that James.
But James Jones,
like this thing got.
But James Jones told me that Dak Prescott's the MVP.
Say a lot of different things. And you believe them?
But
let that thing burn.
But James told me that.
I'm burning James too. Dak get burnt, so does James, baby.
But James told me that.
Yeah.
So it's it.
That's it. Kiss that MVP goodbye.
So it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. Yeah.
I guess.
In the words of Denny Green, Dak Prescott, he's exactly who we thought he was.
I tried.
Dak Prescott packs tonight.
I tried. James, I tried.
These Loki, like.
Listen. I ordered some Dak Prescott cigars. So for the Eagle game tonight, if y'all want some, I got y'all. MVP me.
I thought James, that Dak Prescott could do it. I said his road to MVP was simple. Beat the Seahawks, check. Yeah. Beat the Eagles, check. Beat the Bills.
No check.
It came to a screeching halt. James Jones, did Dak Prescott lose the MVP award yesterday?
Yes, for this week he did.
Oh, for this week.
Yes, for this week he did. And the reason why he lost it is because we didn't put the Eagles game on him, right? Dak Prescott played extremely well, was the best player on the football field, but they lost. Yesterday it was very clear who the best player on the field was, right? On the offensive side of the ball was Josh Allen. On the defensive side of the ball was the Buffalo Bills, right? So for me, the way that game went, for you not to have a touchdown pass, for y'all to get blown out on the road. And I know it's not all on Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott's the quarterback. Everybody wants to put it on him. But for you to get blown out 31-10, and I know your defense gave up 100 and some yards in the first half rushing, all that's cool. But Dak Prescott did not go blow for blow with Josh Allen. And that is what we wanted to see. That is what we needed to see for his MVP. Whether you win or lose it, go blow for blow with Josh Allen. It was a bad outing for him. One of my good brothers on this show always tells me, you're going to have bad games. He say that. You're going to have bad games. So I'm not going to hold it against Dak Prescott. That's why I said for this week, it's gone. But Dak Prescott didn't show up yesterday and outduel Josh Allen.
Yeah, well, we're talking about the MVP. We're not talking about winning games. So if you do get all the praise, then you got to get all the criticism when it comes to this particular award. Because overall, I would tend to agree with you. The defense didn't do well. Buffalo is doing whatever they wanted to on offense, running the ball very well, and Dak has nothing to do with that. But we're not talking about winning or losing the game specifically, because Dak has lost games this year that people actually think help his MVP case in the loss to the Eagles. Everyone keeps pointing to that. He outplayed Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was leading the MVP conversation at that time. They took an L, but no one seemed to care because of the way he played. So if he had played well and the defense gave it up, then maybe that would be a different conversation. But as Shady pointed out while he was burning the ballots, we are conveniently leaving out chunks of the season for everyone in the MVP conversation, by the way. We are moving and shaping and twisting the conversation to fit whatever we want the narrative to be, which is why I'm honestly becoming less and less interested in this conversation as a whole, because this year is very unique, and I don't know that we would put this year's MVP up against MVPs of years past when it comes to what the actual conversation is. That said, Dak's case for MVP was contingent upon these wins.
Yeah.
We talked about this when I had the checklist, and everyone freaked out because he had 2 back-to-back weeks of really good play, and they won the games, and I'm crazy, and then what happens? I'm not indicting Dak in this, though, because this is what's going to happen. When you start doing this projecting and moving the needle further than it needs to go without the play to back it up, this is what happens. Is Dak a bad quarterback now because of this game?
No, of course not. No.
Are they a bad team now because of this game?
No.
Not at all.
Are they incapable of winning postseason games because of this game?
No.
No, but it feels like the sky is falling because all of a sudden Dak's out of the top of the MVP race. And it's not reasonable.
I am with you all. I'll take it a step further. Dak Prescott has lost the MVP race. This is not my subjective opinion. This is what the objective data has proven. He has lost it to the point of not being able to win it. Now, as a voter, I am not saying that I am not going to vote for Dak. That's not what I am saying. But what I am saying is history tells us that voters at large will not vote for an individual who gets blown out by 21 or more points in weeks 14, 15, 16, or 17 or later. Only twice in the history of the NFL MVP voting have you seen voters get blown out by 21 or more this late in the season. Now, keep in mind that 30-7 loss Peyton Manning had with the Bills, he only played 1 quarter because the Colts had already locked up the 1 seed with a 14-2 record. So literally you have to go back to 1988 to see the last time an MVP won the award getting blown out by 21 or more this late in the season. Now let's talk about the why. Remove the full screen. Let me just talk to the people. The reason for the why is very simple. Either A, voters cannot forget a late season blowout. That is option A. Or option B, an MVP would not get blown out like this late in the season. Those are the only 2 truths. Either voters cannot forget if an MVP gets blown out this late in the season, or B, MVPs don't get blown out this late in the season. So for this reason, Dak has lost the MVP. You literally have never seen an MVP winner get blown out that bad this late in the season unless you go back to 1988. And I don't see Dak making history in that fashion. I think he's lost it, really, I will say, unfortunately.
I think he's losing it, right? I don't know if he's lost it yet because he gets some other games, other players to play good. But he's losing it. I mean, you had the stage was set. Everybody just hyped him up. He was playing the best football as a quarterback in the whole league. He was doing it. That's factual. But I told you, it's easy to have great moments, easy to have elite moments. It's hard to keep that going, being consistent over and over again, being nice, being elite, going against elite teams. The stage was set for you. Going against Josh Allen and Buffalo Bills on the road, supposed to be a good game. That's what they told us. In the fourth quarter, the guy had 59 yards passing. Your MVP, that you said.
Yes, I did.
That you said. He said it too?
Yeah, he did.
That you said too.
Yeah, he did.
In the great words of Denny Green, he's from Harrisburg, now that's why I'm saying
it. Said it too?
He said Dak Prescott, he is who he thought he was. He's a guy that's going to have some good games, some good moments, but when the lights get real bright and they need him most against a good competition, he don't show up. You get smoked against the Niners. You get smoked against the Bills. They both good teams, which I got to say to me. You know what, I ain't gonna lie, though. I was so happy when I seen this game.
Why, Shady?
Listen,
Why, Shady?
Because it's like, I speak from the heart. I speak from my eyes. I speak what I see. I speak from experience of knowing the game. And when I watched that Prescott, not this year, other years, he has really good moments. He's a solid, good quarterback, above average quarterback. Cam Newton said, game manager, something like that, right? But when we need you most, things ain't working out. McCarthy has done a great job of putting him in his new offense. I will give him credit for that. The great system. Now it's not working. We need you to make plays because we see guys like Lamar Jackson. Things ain't working out. Make plays. Josh Allen. Even though we're not throwing the ball a lot to beat the Cowboys, we ran the ball on some bully-type attitude. But we needed plays. He made them.
Yeah.
Dak. Honestly, the Bills missed some picks, too.
Yeah.
Did they not?
They did.
Don't fight the ball, Wilson. All I'm saying is this. I'm just happy that now we can, all these Cowboy fans, the things you thought about Dak Prescott months ago, a year and a half ago, bring them back.
Nah.
When you was ready to throw his jersey away and all that to these 6 games, 7 games, it's the truth.
Did Dak prove he is only a game manager? Because the most polarizing words in all of sports were spoken last week when Cam Newton went on his own podcast and said Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, Tua Tagovailoa, Jared Goff, but most notably, Dak Prescott is just a game manager. James Jones, did Dak Prescott prove he is only a game manager? Because when I watched that game yesterday, I said to myself, how many other players in losing efforts would have had that minimal of production. And, James, I had to do my homework. Josh Allen hasn't had a game with that few total yards since 2019 in a loss. In a loss. Patrick Mahomes has never had a game with that few total yards in a loss. Joe Burrow only once this year, week 1, has had that game with that few total yards in a loss, and we all know Joe Burrow was hurt. So what Dak Prescott did yesterday, we've only seen Josh Allen do once in 2019. Patrick Mahomes has never done it, and Joe Burrow did it this year when obviously he had a calf injury that kept him out of the offseason. Did he prove, Dak Prescott, that he's just a game manager?
No. Dak Prescott is not just a game manager. Dak Prescott is a really good quarterback in this league, was playing the best football as any quarterback in the National Football League. Since Dak Prescott has entered into the National Football League, it's 2 dudes with more wins than him, and that's the GOAT, Tom Brady, and that's the one chasing him, and Patty Mahomes. So it's one thing that he does do. And I know postseason he runs into some bumps and all that type stuff, but Dak Prescott is a winner. Dak Prescott wins games. And I understand Shady said when the lights come on, he don't show up for certain games and all that. But since he's come in the league, that's the stats, and that's a fact. So when you talk game manager, you talk a guy to where you cannot put the football in his hands, really ever. And that ain't been Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott has won a lot of football games for the Dallas Cowboys on his right arm. He has made a lot of plays for the Dallas Cowboys. Cam Newton was in the league in that stretch. Aaron Rodgers was in the league in this stretch. And since he's been in the league, he's behind these 2 dudes. So when you talk game manager and he's up there and wins, when you talk about these dudes, it's tough for me to say game manager. Right? Even when we talk Jalen Hurts, I'm not necessarily saying Jalen Hurts is a game manager, but we give him a lot of praise because he wins. You know what I mean? So I do not agree with that. I don't think Dak Prescott is a game manager. He's too good of a player and too good of a quarterback for us to put him in that game manager conversation.
So wait, before you go, what category do we put him in? Elite? I'm just asking.
That's what I'm saying. See, he said the elite ones. No, I do not put him in the elite conversation. The elite is Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, and Patty.
Great.
He right behind them.
He's what?
He right behind them. I put Dak Prescott right behind them. Point blank, period.
So he's like,
we've been seeing it.
You can go.
We've been seeing it.
Joey, break this up for us. Did Dak prove that he's a game manager?
No, I can't get this crazy game to game. I know I'm supposed to be the hysterical one, but I've seen Dak be great in several games this season. I've also seen him be bad in several games
all the quarterbacks
this season. Like all the quarterbacks. But if we're going to keep it real, we're talking about...
The heck.
We're talking about greatness. Greatness. This is why this conversation has been so irritating. Someone's got to win the MVP, right? We've got to give it away this year. Someone's going to win it. And if we're being honest, we're going to have to move the conversation around to fix to fix it and justify it this year with whoever it is that wins it. Because we can admit no one has been head and shoulders consistently throughout the entire season. There are patches of greatness, there are streaks of greatness, there are moments of greatness, but nothing has been sustained. And this is why when you try to move things further than they need to be without the actual evidence and the actual work and the actual accomplishments, the conversation becomes toxic. Dak has been really good this season. He has had moments of greatness, and he has played the best football of his career. Now it's all indicted because he had a blowout loss to the Buffalo Bills, which anyone could see coming. The Buffalo Bills are playing really good football right now. Josh Allen is one of the greats. They're very well coached. When they're healthy, they have a completely different defense. This was not that unpredictable. Like, did anyone watch that yesterday and really feel, other than Cowboys fans, like that was an impossible outcome?
Getting smoked?
Yes, it happens. Anybody can get it on and on every different day. You can have a bad game and get smoked because good teams take advantage of anyone that makes mistakes, especially when they're playing well. I'm not surprised with this outcome. I don't think this indicts Dak Prescott's entire career. Highs and lows, what you are consistently is what you are, and that is what it is with Dak Prescott.
I'm surprised that the Cowboys' offense and Dak Prescott look so helpless. I am surprised by that. I have seen quarterbacks look bad this year, very bad. I would even say, if you're talking about the Bills game, Jalen Hurts versus the Bills, the first 3 quarters did not look good. We were all watching. Lane Johnson was gone. But then we looked up, and in overtime, Jalen Hurts ended up with 5 touchdowns. He only had 200 passing yards. Like, let's not get it twisted. Jalen Hurts did not play crazy. He only had 65 rushing yards. But even in that game, I looked up and was like, somehow, some way, Jalen Hurts still did a little something that made it shake. Lamar Jackson has not been that impressive this year, but he will still find a way to at least make more of an impact. What I was surprised by, Joy, what I was surprised by, James, was the Cowboys offense just looked helpless. Like, Dak just looked helpless. This is an offense that had put up over 40 points, I believe, 4 times in their previous 6 games.
But why, do you think Lamar Jackson is better than Dak Prescott?
I believe he is a game changer. So, yes.
Like, as a whole, not just this year, not how Dak looks this year, as a whole. Right now, considering everything that you've seen both of these quarterbacks do, you think Lamar Jackson is better?
Yes.
I do too. I don't think that's an indictment of Dak Prescott. Lamar Jackson won a unanimous MVP. So Lamar Jackson doing that wouldn't be that surprising, knowing the history of Lamar Jackson in this league and his talent level.
The dilemma for me is we were starting to put, and it sounds like James may still be putting Dak Prescott in that category of people who can change games. James, I look at it like this. 2-5, I'll let you kick it down. I look at it very simple, like Dak Prescott, he needs his receivers to ball so that his team can ball. Whereas when you think about Pat, where you think about Lamar, when you think about Josh, if his receivers aren't getting busy, they'll just find a way to get it going. I think about it like the traditional old-school point guard. John Stockton needed Karl Malone to get buckets. Allen Iverson, he was just going to get buckets. Steph Curry, he a point, but he's still just going to get buckets. But Stockton was like, yo, I need scorers as well. That's how I look at Dak. Like, he's a distributor. He needs people to score, whereas the other quarterbacks, they don't necessarily need that. 2-5, go ahead.
I got nothing to say, man. I just want to take all this stuff, all this MVP stuff. MVPs.
That's it.
Now we done with it. I mean, no more MVP. Are we done with the talk now?
We're done with it.
All right. Can somebody take the garbage out? Get past that.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.